There is a strange and deep exhaustion that comes from constantly being on trial for a crime you didn't commit. It's the feeling of standing in a courtroom that no one else can see, under lights that are always too bright, listening to a prosecutor whose voice is a low murmur of every criticism you have ever heard. You spend your days, and especially your nights, preparing a defense for your own existence, gathering evidence that you are good enough, that you meant well, that your intentions were pure. And yet, the trial never ends. The verdict is never delivered. There is only the endless, draining process of defending yourself against accusations that have no name. What if the truest path to freedom isn't found in winning this invisible case? What if the most profound act of liberation is to simply realize you have the power to walk out of the courtroom altogether? Tonight, we are not here to argue. We are not here to present a better defense or find a more sympathetic jury. We are here to do something far more radical. We are here to dismiss the case entirely, to turn our backs on the proceedings, and to walk out into the quiet, cool night of true peace. This time, right now, is entirely yours. It is a sanctuary from the gavel, a reprieve from the stand. So, allow yourself to settle in. Feel the surface beneath you, the way it holds you completely, without judgment, without question. Notice the weight of the blanket, a gentle grounding pressure that asks nothing of you. This is not the hard bench of the accused. This is a place of rest. Let the sounds of your world fade into the background, just as you would let the murmuring of the courtroom fade away. They are not relevant here. The only thing that matters is the soft rhythm of your own breath, the feeling of your body letting go, inch by inch. As you settle into this physical peace, you can begin to feel a different kind of settling, a settling of the mind. The inner defense attorney, the one who has been working tirelessly on your behalf for years, can finally take a break. You can thank this part of you for its incredible diligence, for its fierce loyalty in trying to protect you. It has kept you safe in the only way it knew how. But its job tonight is over. There are no more arguments to make, no more evidence to present. The courtroom doors are closed. Imagine that mental courtroom for a moment. See the harsh, unforgiving light. Feel the cold, sterile air. Hear the echoes of old words, old judgments bouncing off the walls. This place was constructed a long time ago, brick by brick, from the fears and criticisms of others, and perhaps from your own young interpretations of the world. It was a shelter of sorts, a way to make sense of pain that didn't make sense. By putting yourself on trial, you could at least pretend there was a system, a set of rules, a way to eventually prove your innocence and be free. Time 2.0's. But the system was flawed from the beginning. The fundamental rule of this court is that you are presumed guilty. The crime is never clearly defined. It's a vague, shapeless accusation. The crime of being too much or not enough. The crime of making a mistake. The crime of being human. The crime of not being what someone else needed you to be. How can you defend yourself against a charge that is always changing, that has no substance? You can't. The very act of engaging, of defending, is what keeps the trial going. It's what gives the illusion its power. The moment you stop arguing, the moment you stop believing you need to prove your worth, the walls of that courtroom begin to dissolve. You start to see it for what it is, a memory, an echo, a pattern of thought. It has no real authority over you. Its power was granted by your attention, your participation, and you can withdraw that attention at any time. Tonight, you are withdrawing it. You are taking your energy, your focus, your precious life force, and you are bringing it back home to yourself. Back to the simple, profound truth of your body, resting here, now. Feel that return. Feel the energy that was once spent on anxious justification now flowing back into you. A warm, healing current. It fills the spaces that were hollowed out by doubt. It soothes the nerves that were frayed by constant vigilance. There is a quiet stillness that becomes available when the inner argument ceases. In this stillness, you don't need to be innocent or guilty. You simply are. You exist. You are breathing. And that is enough. That has always been enough. The world may have taught you that you need to earn your place, that you must constantly justify your space. But the earth beneath you holds you without condition. The air you breathe fills your lungs without asking for payment. This is the natural law, the true law. The courtroom in your mind operates on a different, artificial set of laws that no longer apply. You have outgrown them. Your soul is ready for a different kind of justice, one that is rooted in compassion, acceptance, and the unshakable knowledge of your own intrinsic worth. Let that idea settle into you as you drift. The knowledge that your worth is not on trial. It is not a verdict to be decided. It is a fact as solid and as real as the ground beneath your home. The case against you was built on hearsay, on projections, on the pain of others that was handed to you like a heavy, misdelivered package. For so long, you held on to it, believing it must be yours. You have carried it with honor and with a strength you may not even recognize. But you are not a courier for another person's sorrow or another shame. You can set it down. Tonight, we begin the process of setting it all down. Not with anger or with force, but with the quiet dignity of someone who is finally ready to be free. The journey out of the courtroom is not a sprint. It is a gentle walk, and the first step is simply the intention, the decision that you will no longer participate. You will no longer serve time for crimes you did not commit. You are laying down the burden of proof. You are resting your case, and in its place, you are choosing to embrace a deep, restorative, and unconditional peace. As you lie here, on the edge of sleep, let this be the final thought that anchors you to the night. The trial is over. The lights in the courtroom are dimming. The voices are fading. You are walking away, not as a convict or an acquitted defendant, but as someone who was never meant to be there in the first place. You are simply returning home. Home to the quiet sanctuary of your own being, where you are already whole, already worthy, already free. Rest now. Let the deep peace of this dismissal wash over you, carrying you into a sleep that is profound, untroubled, and truly, finally, your own. Now that you have left the courtroom behind, a new kind of quiet can emerge. In this quiet, you can begin to notice things that were previously drowned out by the noise of the trial. There is no need to search for anything. Simply allow your awareness to settle gently into your body as it rests here in this moment. Without any effort, just begin to notice the physical sensations present. Let's explore this together. Bring a kind, curious attention to the area around your shoulders and your upper back. For many of us, this is a place where we physically store the effort of our lives. Just notice what's there. Is there a tightness? A density? A subtle, familiar ache that you've learned to live with? There is no need to name it or fix it. We are simply becoming aware. Think of it as visiting a landscape you know well, but have never truly seen. This feeling, this tension, has been a silent companion for so long. It's like a weight you started carrying so gradually, day by day, that you eventually forgot you were carrying anything at all. It simply became a part of how you move through the world. This weight isn't made of muscle or bone. It is made of something else. It is the physical residue of unearned responsibility, the accumulated mass of burdens you mistook for your own. Imagine, if you will, a heavy cloak. It was placed upon your shoulders a long, long time ago. Perhaps you were very young. The cloak wasn't given to you with malice. Sometimes, those we love give us their heaviest burdens because they don't know how to carry them themselves. And your heart, in its infinite and innocent desire to help, to love, to keep the peace, simply accepted it. You took the weight without question. The fabric of this cloak is woven from threads of other people's anxieties, their unspoken regrets, their unmanaged anger, and their fears. It is stitched together with expectations you could never meet and silent accusations for problems you did not create. For years, you have worn this cloak. You learned to walk with the extra weight, to breathe under its stifling presence. It became so familiar that you stopped feeling it as something separate from you. You believed its heaviness was your own. You mistook the weight of the cloak for the weight of your own soul. You thought, this must be me. This heaviness, this vague sense of guilt, this is just who I am. But it is not. It is just a cloak. It is something you are wearing, not something you are. And tonight, for the first time, we are simply going to look at it. We are not trying to take it off just yet. We are just acknowledging its presence. Feel its texture in your mind's eye. Notice its color, perhaps a dark, somber shade that absorbs the light. Sense its immense weight pressing down on your shoulders, your neck, your back. This simple act of witnessing is profoundly powerful. Because the moment you can see the cloak as a cloak, it begins to separate from you. You are not the weight. You are the one who is noticing the weight. You are not the exhaustion. You are the one who is aware of the exhaustion. This small shift in perspective is the beginning of all freedom. Just stay with that awareness. The feeling of unearned guilt is a particular kind of burden. It's sticky. It's shapeless. True, healthy guilt for a mistake we've made is often clear. It points us toward an apology, toward making amends. It has a purpose, and once addressed, it can dissolve. But this other feeling, this free-floating sense of being vaguely at fault, is different. It has no source and no solution. It is a quiet hum beneath the surface of everything, whispering, "You've done something wrong. You are somehow to blame." This is the energy woven into the cloak. It is the emotional weight you have been carrying for others. When someone in your life was unable to face their own choices, their own pain, it was easier to let that responsibility deflect and land upon you. And because you were open, because you were empathetic, you absorbed it. You became the container for what they could not hold. This was not a flaw in you. It was a testament to the size of your heart. But a heart is not meant to be a storage unit for another person's unlived life. Your body is not meant to be a warehouse for inherited shame. As you lie here, breathing gently, just allow yourself to witness this truth without judgment. See the cloak. Feel the weight. Acknowledge the deep, unarticulated unfairness of it all. You do not need to analyze its origins. You do not need to remember every moment it grew heavier. That is not the work for tonight. The work for tonight is simply to see. to acknowledge, to finally understand, on a level deeper than words, that this heaviness you have felt for so long is not, and has never been, your own. It is a foreign object, a borrowed sorrow, a piece of clothing that does not fit and was never meant for you. Let your breath deepen. With each inhale, imagine you are breathing space between you and the cloak, creating a tiny luminous gap between your skin and the heavy fabric. With each exhale, just let go of the need to understand it all. Let go of the need to justify why you took it, why you kept it. The reasons don't matter as much as the simple, liberating recognition that it is not you. This weight is just something you have carried, and anything that can be carried can also be set down. For now, just rest in this new awareness, the awareness of yourself, separate from the burden, the quiet, powerful space that opens up when you simply witness the truth without flinching. You are here. The weight is here. And for the first time, you can feel the difference between the two. This is the beginning. This is everything. Rest in this knowing. There is nothing else to do. Simply notice, and let the peace of that noticing be enough for tonight. As you continue to rest in this space of gentle awareness, noticing the weight you mistook for your own, we can now softly, carefully, trace the lines of how this came to be. This is not about reopening old wounds or relitigating the past. This is more like being a compassionate archaeologist of your own heart. We are simply brushing the dust off an old pattern, not to judge it, but to understand its shape. Think about the role you have often found yourself playing in the lives of others, in your family, in your relationships, perhaps even at work. Do you recognize the pattern of becoming a receptacle? A safe place for others to pour their difficult emotions, their disappointments, their frustrations. It's a role often given to the strongest, most empathetic person in the room. You became the one who could handle it, the one who could absorb the shock. When tension rose, you were the one to smooth it over. When someone was angry or upset, you intuitively learned to take the blame, even a small piece of it, just to de-escalate the situation. It became a reflex. You became a container for their pain, their anger, or their failure. Consider how this works. Someone feels the uncomfortable heat of their own mistake. Shame rises in them, a feeling so intolerable that their unconscious mind immediately looks for a place to put it. And there you are, open, listening, understanding. Your empathy acts like a magnet for their disowned feelings. And in a subtle, often unspoken transaction, the blame is transferred. A look, a tone of voice, a pointed silence, a carefully worded sentence. It doesn't have to be a loud accusation. Often, it's much quieter than that. It's the sigh of disappointment from a parent that makes you feel responsible for their happiness. It's the subtle implication from a partner that their bad mood is somehow your fault. It's the colleague who offloads their stress onto you, leaving you feeling anxious and heavy while they walk away feeling lighter. These moments, collected over a lifetime, are the threads that have woven that heavy cloak you carry. Each time you accepted a piece of blame that wasn't yours, another thread was added. Each time you apologized for something you didn't do, just to keep the peace, the cloak grew heavier. Let your mind drift back now, not to relive any specific trauma, but just to gently acknowledge the texture of this pattern. Remember, perhaps, the feeling in your body as a child when adults were fighting. that instinctive urge to make it stop, to make everyone happy again, in the quiet, childish conclusion that if you were just better, quieter, or different, the unhappiness would go away. That was the moment you first learned to accept the blame. It was a strategy born of love and a deep desire for safety and connection. You learned to become the emotional lightning rod for the family system. You drew the chaotic energy toward yourself to protect others, or perhaps to protect the fragile illusion of a happy home. This role became automatic, a reflex you learned for survival. Like learning to ride a bike, you stopped thinking about it. When a difficult emotion appeared in your environment, your system would just react, absorb, contain, take responsibility. You became so good at it, so seamless, that you and others may not have even noticed it was happening. It just became who you are, the sensitive one, the peacemaker, the responsible one. These labels sound positive, but they often conceal a shadow function, the one who carries what others will not. Think about how this shows up in your life now. Do you find yourself apologizing when you haven't done anything wrong? Do you feel a pang of guilt when someone else is upset, even if it has nothing to do with you? Do you lie awake at night, replaying conversations, wondering what you could have done or said differently to change an outcome that was never in your control? This is the pattern at work. This is the reflex of the receptacle. It's a deep, grooved neural pathway in your brain that says, "Trouble? It must be my fault. I must fix it." This isn't a sign of weakness. In fact, it's a sign of a highly attuned nervous system and a deeply compassionate heart. You learn to read the emotional weather in a room with incredible accuracy. You learn to anticipate needs, to sense unspoken tensions. These are profound gifts. But somewhere along the way, the gift of empathy became entangled with the burden of blame. You learned that feeling what others feel also meant feeling responsible for how they feel. And that is the crucial misunderstanding we are here to gently correct tonight. Your ability to feel is a superpower. Your automatic acceptance of blame is a learned survival strategy. They are not the same thing. You can be the most compassionate, empathetic, and loving person in the world without being the designated carrier for everyone else's emotional baggage. As you rest here, allow this distinction to become clear in your mind. Empathy is feeling with someone. Taking on blame is attempting to feel for them. Empathy connects. Assumed blame creates a strange and heavy bondage. Without needing to dredge up painful memories, just let yourself acknowledge this pattern with a sense of gentle curiosity. See it not as a personal flaw, but as a historical artifact. This is how you learn to navigate your world. This is how you learn to secure love and belonging. You adapted. You survived. Your system did exactly what it needed to do with the information and the environment it had at the time. But now, you have more information. You have a new environment right here, in this moment of quiet rest. You can see things from a different perspective. You can see that the reflex to accept blame is no longer serving you. It is the source of that deep exhaustion. It is the weight of the cloak. And by simply seeing it for what it is, a well-worn, automatic, and outdated strategy, you begin to reclaim your power. You begin to understand that you have a choice. You don't have to be the receptacle anymore. You can honor the part of you that learned this role, thank it for its service, and gently let it know that its job is done. A new way is possible, a lighter way. It is so incredibly important as we continue this gentle exploration, to hold this next truth with the utmost care. This pattern we've been observing, the reflex of accepting blame, of becoming the receptacle for the pain of others, is not a character flaw. It is a survival skill. It is a masterpiece of adaptation created by a younger version of you who was doing the absolute best they could in a very difficult situation. Let's validate that part of you right now. Let's honor its ingenuity and its profound desire to protect you. Think about it. In an environment where things felt unpredictable, chaotic, or unsafe, taking the blame was a clever strategy. It created a sense of control where there was none. If a parent was angry or a situation was tense, the thought, "It's my fault," is strangely comforting. Because if it's your fault, you can fix it. You can be better, try harder, be quieter. You can do something to change the outcome. The alternative, the idea that you are powerless, that the anger or chaos is random and has nothing to do with you, is far more terrifying for a child. So you learn to accept the blame. It was a strategy to keep the peace. By absorbing the tension, you might have prevented an argument. By apologizing, you might have brought a fragile sense of calm back to the household. You became the family's emotional shock absorber. This was your sacred, though silent job. It was also a way to maintain connection. If a loved one is unable to own their own mistakes or shortcomings, they might push you away. But if you take the blame, if you say, "I'm sorry, it was me," it allows them to save face. It allows them to stay in relationship with you without having to confront their own difficult truths. You sacrificed a piece of your own truth in order to preserve the bond. In that moment, connection felt more important than fairness. It was a trade you made unconsciously for love. And of course, in some cases, it was a strategy to protect yourself. It was safer to be the bad one than to challenge the powerful one. It was less dangerous to agree with the accusation than to point out the injustice. You learned that acquiescence was a shield. Your spirit learned to bow its head, to let the storm pass over. These are not the actions of a flawed person. These are the brilliant, adaptive strategies of a survivor. Of course, the lines became tangled. Of course, you became confused between what was truly your responsibility and the shame that was simply assigned to you. You were never taught the difference. No one sat you down and gave you a clear lesson on emotional boundaries. No one showed you a diagram of where your energy ends and another person's begins. You had to learn from experience, from the unspoken rules of your environment. You learned by observing what worked, what kept you safe, what earned you a moment of peace or a scrap of affection. So you learned to carry it all. You mistook responsibility for the act of carrying another's pain. You thought being a good person, a good child, a good partner, a good friend, meant you had to be a dumping ground. The world may have even reinforced this. It praised you for being so easygoing, so understanding, so mature. What people were often praising was your willingness to absorb their discomfort, to make life easier for them at your own expense. But what they called maturity was actually a form of self-abandonment. You were abandoning your own need for fairness, for truth, for energetic clarity, in order to serve the needs of the system around you. And this is the most important part. Your heart is so good. It learned to carry what others could not. Let that sink in. This entire pattern is not evidence of your inadequacy. It is evidence of your immense capacity. You had the emotional and spiritual strength to hold not only your own life experience, but the overflow from others' lives as well. You carried their regrets, their anger, their grief, because on some level, you had the space for it. Your soul was vast enough to contain it. The problem is not your capacity. The problem is that you were never told that you didn't have to. You were never given permission to use that vast capacity for yourself, for your own joy, your own healing, your own dreams. You believed your strength was a tool for the service of others rather than the foundation of your own life. So as you rest here, let a wave of deep, profound compassion wash over that younger you, the one who learned this strategy. See them in your mind's eye. See their earnest desire to help, to fix things, to be loved. See how they cleverly figured out a way to navigate a complex world. They are not to be judged. They are to be honored. They are the reason you are here today. They ensured your survival. And now, you, the adult who is here now, can offer them something new. You can offer them rest. You can let them know that their hard work is done. You don't need this strategy to survive anymore. You are safe now. You have other tools. You have the wisdom of your experience. You have the ability to set boundaries, to speak your truth, to walk away. You can differentiate now. You can feel the difference between the clean, empowering energy of true responsibility and the heavy, sticky feeling of assigned shame. The younger you didn't know the difference, but you do. Allow this understanding to soften everything inside you. Let go of any self-criticism about this pattern. Release the idea that you should have known better. You couldn't have. You did the best you could with what you knew. And now, you know better. Now you know that your empathy is a gift, not a liability. Now you know your strength is for you. Now you know that this deep pattern of self-blame was never a flaw, but a survival skill that you have simply outgrown. Like a favorite childhood coat, it served you well. It kept you warm in a cold season. But you've grown, and it no longer fits. It's time, with gratitude and love, to finally let it go. As this deep compassion for your own journey settles in, another feeling may begin to surface. And it is so important that we make space for this one too. Beneath the exhaustion, beneath the self-blame, beneath the diligent efforts to be good and keep the peace, there often lives a deep, quiet, and profoundly valid sense of unfairness. Let's give a voice to that part of you now, the part that knows, on a cellular level, the profound injustice of it all. The injustice of serving time for someone else's actions, of carrying the emotional weight of choices you never made, of having your own light dimmed so that others wouldn't feel so uncomfortable in their own shadows. There is a part of you that has been silently screaming about this for years. It's the part that feels a flash of anger when you once again find yourself apologizing for nothing. It's the part that feels a deep weariness in your bones when you realize you've been cast as the villain in someone else's story, simply because you wouldn't carry their baggage anymore. This feeling is righteous. It is not petty or vengeful. It is the cry of a soul that knows its own worth and has been forced to deny it. It is the part of you that remembers your original innocence, your inherent lightness, before the heavy cloak was placed upon you. For so long, you may have suppressed this feeling. You may have told yourself it was selfish to feel angry. You may have reasoned that the other person didn't mean it, or was doing their best. And perhaps they were. But that doesn't erase the impact. It doesn't negate the truth of your experience. Their intention is their business. Your emotional reality is yours. And the reality is, it was unfair. It was profoundly, deeply unfair. Acknowledge the sadness that lives right alongside the anger, the grief for the lost energy, the sorrow for the years spent trying to earn a love that should have been freely given, grief for the spontaneous joy that was muted by the constant need to manage the emotional states of those around you, grief for the parts of yourself you had to hide or shrink to make others comfortable. This sadness is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of love. You are grieving for the beautiful, innocent part of yourself that took on a burden it was never meant to bear. It is a holy grief. Let yourself feel it without judgment. It is the heart's natural response to loss. You lost moments of peace. You lost a sense of safety. You lost, for a time, the clear, bright connection to your own untarnished self. These feelings, the anger, the sadness, the sense of injustice, are not problems to be solved. They are messengers to be heard. They have come to tell you a powerful truth. They are here to say, no more. They are the fuel for your liberation. For too long, you have been told, perhaps implicitly, that your feelings were an inconvenience, that your anger was too much, that your sadness was melodramatic. This was just another way of keeping you in the role of the receptacle. Because if your feelings about being the receptacle are invalidated, you are more likely to stay in the role. It's a clever, self-perpetuating trap. But tonight, you are stepping out of that trap. You are giving these feelings a safe, respected place to be. Imagine a wise and compassionate counsel within you. And for the first time, these long silenced witnesses, anger and sadness, are invited to speak. Anger steps forward, not as a raging fire, but with a clear, steady voice. It says, "What happened was not right. Your energy was taken without permission. Your goodness was exploited. You deserve to be protected, not used as a shield." Listen to this voice. Feel the truth of its words resonate in your bones. It is not blaming. It is simply stating the facts from a place of fierce love for you. Then, sadness steps forward. Its voice is soft, like rain. It says, "So much was lost. So much energy was spent. So much of your precious life was dedicated to carrying things that were not yours. We must weep for that. We must honor that loss." Feel the gentle release that comes with allowing this grief to be present. It is a cleansing sorrow. It is crucial to understand that acknowledging this injustice is not about blaming others. This is the old pattern, the courtroom drama. We are not seeking to find someone guilty. That would just be another trial. This is about validating your own experience. It's about finally, completely taking your own side. You can hold two truths at once. Another person may have been doing the best they could with their own pain, and the impact on you was unfair and damaging. Both can be true. You don't have to choose. Your validation does not depend on their admission of guilt. Your freedom does not depend on their apology. Your healing is an inside job. It begins with you looking at your own inner child and saying, "I see you. I hear you. And you were right. It wasn't fair. And I am so sorry you had to go through that. But I am here now, and I will not let it happen again." This is the moment of true self-reclamation. It is the moment you stop seeking justice from the outside world and start creating it within your own being. By simply allowing yourself to feel the truth of the unfairness, you take back your power. You stop being a victim of your history and start becoming the compassionate witness of it. You are not your anger. You are not your sadness. You are the vast, loving awareness that can hold both, and in doing so, integrate their wisdom and release their charge. Rest in this validation. Let the profound rightness of these feelings settle you. They are not a threat. They are your allies. They are the clear, strong voices of your own soul, calling you back home. Now that you have given a voice to the deep injustice and honored the anger and sadness that have lived so long in the shadows, the next step is to give yourself full and radical permission to simply feel. Not to analyze the feelings, not to justify them, and certainly not to fix them, just to let them be. For so much of your life, you've had to manage your emotions for the comfort of others. You learned to swallow your frustration, to smile through your sorrow, to present a calm exterior even when a storm was raging inside. This was another vital survival skill, but that skill is not needed here. In this safe, quiet space, there is no one you need to protect. There is no peace you need to keep. The only requirement is your own gentle presence. Let's create a safe internal space for this process. Imagine, within you, a vast open landscape. It could be a wide, tranquil meadow under a boundless sky, or a quiet, endless shoreline with a calm sea. This is the landscape of your own awareness. It is infinite, patient, and fundamentally peaceful. It has been here all along, beneath the noise of your thoughts and the turmoil of your emotions. Now, in this vast, open space of you, you can allow the stored emotions to surface. Think of them as weather. For so long, you've been trying to control the weather, desperately trying to hold back the rain clouds of sadness and command the lightning of anger to stop. It's an exhausting and impossible task. Tonight, you are not the weather controller. You are the sky. The sky does not fight the clouds. It does not judge the storm. It simply allows the weather to pass through. It holds it all with effortless grace, knowing that its own vast blue nature is never diminished or harmed by the passing phenomena. So, let the clouds of grief gather if they need to. If tears come, let them be like a gentle, cleansing rain that has been needed for a very long time. This is not a sorrow that will drown you. It is a healing water, washing away the dust and residue of old hurts. Each tear that falls is a release, a letting go of a piece of the pain you've carried for others. It is the body's beautiful, intelligent way of unburdening itself. There is no need to tell a story about the sadness. Just feel the sensation of it, the ache in the chest, the tightness in the throat. Breathe into it. Imagine your breath as a warm, compassionate wind, gently moving through the clouds, giving them space, allowing them to soften and release their rain. If resentment or anger surfaces, let that be like a storm cloud, dark and electric. Don't be afraid of its power. This is not a destructive rage. It is the life force within you, reclaiming its territory. It is the energy of no, the powerful current of a boundary being established for the first time. Feel the heat of it, the energy of it, without needing to direct it at anyone. It's not about them anymore. It's about you. It's the feeling of your own spirit saying, I will no longer carry what is not mine. My energy is my own. See the flashes of lightning not as threats, but as moments of sudden brilliant clarity. See the thunder not as noise, but as the sound of an old, unjust structure finally crumbling. You are the vast, calm sky holding this storm. You are safe. The storm is just energy passing through. It is cleansing the air. And alongside these big emotions, you might also feel the profound exhaustion we spoke of earlier. Let that be a thick, heavy fog, rolling in and settling over the landscape. Don't resist it. Allow yourself to feel the full weight of the years you've spent carrying everything. Let the fog be a blanket. It's an invitation from your body to deeply, profoundly rest, to stop striving, stop holding, stop managing. Just for this moment, let the exhaustion be total. Surrender to it. There's a deep release in finally admitting, I am so tired. In that surrender, a different kind of strength is born. It is the strength of letting go. Breathing into the release is the most practical and powerful tool you have right now. Your breath is the anchor. It is the constant, steady presence that reminds you that you are the sky, not the weather. When a wave of feeling comes, notice it, and then consciously, gently, turn your attention to your breath. Breathe in, creating space around the feeling. Breathe out, letting go of the need to do anything about it. Each exhale can become a silent act of release. With one breath, you can let go of a piece of old, stored guilt. With the next, you can release a filament of resentment. With another, you can sigh out a layer of weariness. You don't need to force it. Just set the intention. Imagine your out-breath carrying these old energies away from your body, dissolving them into the vastness of the space around you. They are not destroyed. They are simply returned to the universe as neutral energy. Their job within you is done. They have delivered their message. They have shown you what was unfair. They have revealed the weight of the burden. You have listened. You have heard. And now you can let them go with gratitude for the wisdom they brought you. This is a quiet, internal process. It may be intensely emotional, or it may be incredibly subtle. There is no right way to do it. The only goal is permission. Permission to feel without judgment. Permission to release without effort. Permission for your inner world to finally be what it is, without needing to be anything else for anyone. You are creating a new kind of inner safety, a safety based not on controlling your feelings, but on trusting your capacity to hold them. This is the foundation of true emotional freedom. You are learning that you are bigger than any emotion. You are the safe harbor, and the feelings are just boats, coming into dock for a while before sailing on. Just keep breathing. Just keep allowing. You are doing the bravest work of all. You are reclaiming your own heart. Having created this safe inner space, allowing the weather of your emotions to move through without resistance, you are now ready for a more tangible act of release. The mind understands concepts, but the body understands symbols and actions. So now, we will guide your body through the power of your imagination to physically set down the burden it has carried for so long. This is not just a metaphor. Your nervous system responds to visualization as if it were real. By doing this, you are sending a powerful, deeply healing message to every cell in your body. Let's return to the image of that heavy cloak we spoke of earlier, the one woven from threads of unearned guilt, inherited anxieties, and unspoken accusations. Feel its presence once more, resting on your shoulders and back. Acknowledge its weight, its texture, its somber color. For so long, it has been your constant companion. But you have now seen it for what it is. You have understood where it came from. You have honored the survival skill that led you to wear it. And now, it is time to take it off. Begin by bringing your awareness to your hands. In your mind, imagine them reaching up, the fingers finding the heavy, ornate clasp that holds the cloak together at your throat. This clasp might represent a core belief, an old promise, or a family rule that has kept the burden in place. It might be the belief that I am responsible for others' happiness, or I must keep the peace at all costs. Just see the clasp. You don't need to analyze it. Simply recognize it as the mechanism that has held the weight to you. Now, with a slow, deliberate movement of your will, imagine your fingers undoing this clasp. It might be stiff from years of disuse. Be gentle, be patient. There is no rush. This is a sacred, intentional act. As you work the clasp, you might feel a flicker of the old fear or guilt, the old programming that says, "Don't. It's not safe to put this down. Who will you be without it?" Just notice that voice. Thank it for trying to protect you. And then, with firm but gentle resolve, continue to undo the clasp. Feel the final click as it comes undone. In that moment, a profound shift occurs. The cloak is no longer attached to you. For the first time, you can feel a current of cool, fresh air on your neck and throat, a place that has been covered for so long. Now, let's focus on the shoulders. So much of this weight has been held in the muscles of your shoulders, neck, and upper back. For years, they have been clenched, braced against the load. Consciously, invite these muscles to begin to let go. Imagine your shoulders, which have been hunched forward under the weight, now starting to ease backward and down. Feel the shoulder blades, which have been held tight and high, begin to soften and slide down your back. Let out a long, slow breath, and with that exhale, feel a layer of tension melting away. It's the feeling of a soldier finally being told the war is over. The posture of constant defense is no longer needed. With the clasp undone and your shoulders beginning to relax, you can now let the cloak slide. Feel the heavy fabric begin to slip from your shoulders. At first, just an inch, then another. Feel the immense dragging weight of it as it begins its slow journey down your back. It might feel strange, even a little disorienting, as your body registers the absence of a pressure it has known for a lifetime. Stay with the physical sensation. Feel the fabric sliding past your arms, down your torso, over your legs, and finally, feel it pool on the floor around your feet. A heavy, dark circle of fabric. Step out of it. In your mind's eye, take one deliberate step forward, leaving the cloak lying on the ground behind you. Stand for a moment in this new space and feel. Feel the immediate lightness. It might be a tingling sensation. It might be a feeling of coolness or warmth. You might feel taller, more upright. Your chest may feel more open. Your breathing suddenly deeper and easier. This is not just an imagined feeling. Your body, released from the chronic tension of carrying that energetic weight, is literally reorganizing itself. The blood is flowing more freely. The nerves are sending new signals of safety and ease to your brain. This is the physical reality of letting go. Now look back at the cloak on the floor. See it lying there, separate from you. It looks different now, doesn't it? Less intimidating. It's just a pile of fabric. Its power came from its attachment to you. Once released, it is inert. This is the most beautiful analogy for our burdens. We think they are immense and powerful, but their power is entirely dependent on our willingness to carry them. Let's deepen this release. You can think of it as carefully taking off a heavy, borrowed coat and handing it back to the universe. it was never yours to wear. It was a loan, a temporary assignment you took on with a good heart. But the contract is over. In your mind, you can see this cloak being gently lifted by an unseen force, perhaps the wind or a gentle light, and it dissolves. It doesn't dissolve with anger or violence. It simply breaks down into neutral energy, its threads of fear and shame unspooling and returning to the great cosmic field, to be recycled into something new, something beautiful. It is no longer your concern. Its energy has been returned to its source. It is complete. Now bring the focus back to your physical body, lying here. Let this feeling of lightness permeate every part of you. Feel the new space in your shoulders, the freedom in your neck. Feel the ease in your spine. Unclench your hands if they are tight. Let your jaw relax. Your body now knows what it feels like to be unburdened. It is remembering its natural state. This is your birthright. To stand tall, to breathe deep, to move through the world with ease, carrying only that which is truly yours. Your wisdom, your love, your own unique light. Rest in this feeling. There is nothing more to do. You have performed a profound act of self-love and liberation. Allow the truth of it to settle deep into your bones, into your memory, into your soul. You are free from that weight. It is done. Now that you have symbolically set down the heavy cloak and experienced that immediate sense of lightness, we can explore a gentle yet powerful way to ensure that weight doesn't inadvertently get picked up again. This is about establishing a new kind of energetic hygiene. It's about learning to handle the incoming projections of others in a way that is both compassionate and self-honoring. This is where we introduce the concept of return to sender. Please hear this with great care. This is not an act of anger, aggression, or revenge. It has nothing to do with retaliation. It is a simple, neutral, and deeply truthful act of energetic boundary setting. It is the quiet, firm recognition that an energy, be it guilt, blame, shame, or anxiety, is not yours, and therefore you will not accept delivery of it. It's as simple as that. Think of your own personal energy field as your home. You have a front door, and you get to decide who and what comes in. For a long time, the door has been wide open. Anyone passing by who had a heavy package they didn't want to carry could simply leave it on your doorstep, or even walk right in and place it in your living room. You, being gracious and accommodating, would take the package, assuming it was your responsibility. Now, you are learning to be a loving and discerning gatekeeper of your own home. Let's visualize how this works. Imagine the guilt, shame, and blame that are sometimes directed at you, whether consciously or unconsciously, as letters. They are sealed envelopes, sent through the ether, addressed vaguely to someone who will take this. For years, your energetic address has been on the courier's route. Your empathy and openness were like a giant welcoming mailbox. So, the letters of blame, the packages of anxiety, they all got delivered to you. You would open them, read the contents, and immediately feel the heavy weight of their message. You believed the contents because the delivery was so effective. But tonight, we are changing the mailing address. You are putting up a new sign. Visualize yourself standing peacefully within your own energy field, a beautiful sphere of light that surrounds you. You feel calm, centered, and grounded. Now, imagine a letter floating towards you. It might be an old memory of a critical comment, a feeling of guilt from a recent interaction, or a free-floating anxiety you picked up from someone else. Instead of automatically reaching out and taking it, you simply allow it to hover in front of you. You are not resisting it. You are not fighting it. You are simply observing it with neutral curiosity. You are giving yourself a sacred pause between the arrival of an energy and your reaction to it. In this pause lies all your power. In this pause, you can ask a simple, quiet question. Is this mine? You can feel into the energy of the letter. Does it feel like your own authentic remorse for a true mistake? Or does it have the sticky, heavy, draining feeling of assigned shame? You are learning to trust your body's wisdom. Your body knows the difference. True responsibility feels clean and clear, even if it's difficult. Projected blame feels confusing, heavy, and leaves you feeling smaller. If you sense the energy is not yours, you can then perform the gentle act of return to sender. Imagine you have a soft, ethereal rubber stamp in your hand. The stamp doesn't say rejected or get lost. It simply says, with all the compassion in the universe, return to sender with love. You gently press this stamp onto the letter. This act of love is crucial. It means you are not sending back any anger or judgment with it. You are simply returning the energy in its pure form, with a silent blessing. May this energy find its way back to its source so that it may be healed there. This is not my work to do. Then you simply release the letter and watch as it gently floats away, carried by an invisible current, back in the direction from which it came. You are not responsible for what happens when it arrives. You are not forcing the other person to deal with it. You are simply freeing yourself from the obligation to. You are honoring the truth that every soul is responsible for its own energy. By carrying it for them, you were inadvertently robbing them of the opportunity to learn from their own experience. Your act of returning it is an act of respect for their journey as well as your own. This practice is encapsulated in a powerful affirmation. Let it settle into your being as you rest. My empathy is a superpower, not a dumping ground for others. Feel the truth in that statement. Your empathy allows you to connect, to understand, to witness another's pain with compassion. It is a bridge. But a bridge is meant for crossing, not for building a house on. You can feel with someone, stand with them in their difficulty, offer them love and support without taking their emotional packages into your own home. This is the art of compassionate detachment. It is the key to being a deeply loving and empathetic person who does not burn out. You can care deeply from a place of fullness rather than from a place of depletion. Practice this visualization again. See a wave of someone else's anxiety coming toward you. Pause, breathe, recognize it. This is fear. This is not my fear. And then, with your intention, you see the wave part, flowing around your sphere of light, not entering it. You can still see it. You can have compassion for the person feeling it, but you do not have to get wet. You remain in your own calm center. This is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. Be gentle with yourself. For a long time, your reflex has been to absorb. The new reflex will be to pause, discern, and release. At first, you might only notice you've absorbed an energy long after the fact. That's okay. The moment you notice, you can do the return to sender process. You can sit quietly, breathe, and intentionally release the energy you've taken on, sending it back to its source with love. Over time, the pause will become shorter. You'll begin to catch it in the moment, during a conversation, and you can silently, internally, keep your energy field clear. This is not about building walls. It's about maintaining a healthy, permeable membrane. It's about knowing that your first responsibility is to the sanctuary of your own being. From that well-tended inner space, your compassion and love can flow out into the world, clear, bright, and truly healing. As you become more practiced at returning energy that isn't yours, a natural and beautiful clarification begins to happen within you. You start to redefine, on a deep, intuitive level, what true responsibility really is. For so long, the wires were crossed. The feeling of assigned shame felt like a duty you had to perform, and the idea of honoring your own needs felt selfish. Now, we gently untangle these wires, allowing a new, healthier understanding to emerge. Let's begin by learning to differentiate the feelings. Think of it as developing a more refined palette for emotional and energetic flavors. Assigned shame, the kind you've been carrying in that heavy cloak, has a distinct texture. It feels heavy, sticky, and draining. When you feel it, it tends to make your world smaller. It fosters a sense of being wrong at your core. It's confusing and circular. It has no clear action you can take to resolve it, because the crime itself is vague and not of your own making. It whispers that you are fundamentally flawed. Now, contrast that with the feeling of healthy responsibility, or what some might call healthy guilt. This feeling is entirely different. It is clean, clear, and empowering. When you've genuinely made a mistake, said something unkind, acted out of alignment with your values, or failed to do something you promised. The feeling of responsibility that arises is a clarifying energy. It is not about you being a bad person. It is about your actions. It points directly to a remedy, an apology, a change in behavior, an act of making amends. It feels clean because it is rooted in your own integrity. It is empowering because it gives you a clear path to realign yourself with your own values. Once the amends are made, the feeling dissolves. It has done its job. It has guided you back to your own center. Assigned shame drains you. Healthy responsibility guides you. As you lie here, resting in this quiet space, let this distinction settle into your awareness. You can trust your body to know the difference. When that familiar, heavy feeling of vague culpability arises, you can now pause and recognize it. Ah, this is the old stickiness. This is assigned shame. This is not mine. And you can use your new tool to return it to its source. When a clean, clear pang of, "I could have handled that better," arises, you can greet it with respect. Thank you for this guidance. You are showing me where I need to grow. One is a poison you've been unknowingly drinking. The other is a medicine that helps you heal and evolve. This differentiation is the foundation for reframing your role. You are gently, lovingly, resigning from the position of scapegoat. A scapegoat is the one who, by definition, carries the sins, faults, and disowned parts of the community. It's an ancient and powerful archetype, and you have played it with incredible strength. But your term of service is over. You are now stepping into a new role, the role of a sovereign being. A sovereign being is one who is the ultimate authority in their own life. They are responsible for their own energy, their own choices, and their own healing. Period. And they are responsible to no one else for those same things. This doesn't mean you become isolated or uncaring. In fact, it's the opposite. When you are truly sovereign, you can engage with others from a place of wholeness, not from a place of obligation or fear. Your yes becomes a true, wholehearted yes, and your no becomes a clean, clear, and respectable no. You stop being a receptacle and start being a resource, one that you choose to share from a place of fullness, not from a sense of duty. Understanding that true self-respect begins with honoring this boundary is a turning point. Self-respect isn't about arrogance or demanding things from the world. It is a quiet, internal alignment. It is the commitment you make to yourself to no longer betray your own feelings in order to manage someone else's. It is the promise to no longer accept blame that is not yours. It is the radical act of treating your own inner world as sacred territory. Think of it this way. For years, you have been an incredibly dedicated and compassionate caretaker for other people's emotional gardens. You've diligently watered their plants, pulled their weeds, and tilled their soil, all while your own beautiful garden has become overgrown and untended. You did this because you thought it was your job. Now you realize your primary, most sacred responsibility is to your own garden. This is not selfish. It is essential. Because from a thriving, vibrant, well-tended garden, you have so much more authentic beauty and nourishment to share with the world. You can offer a bouquet of flowers from your abundance, which is very different from frantically trying to manage someone else's drought. So, what is your true responsibility? Your true responsibility is to your own well-being, to your own peace, to your own healing, to your own joy, to living in alignment with your own deepest values. That is your life's work. It is a full and worthy curriculum. Your responsibility to others is simply to be kind, to be honest, and to not intentionally cause harm. It is not your responsibility to manage their emotions, to heal their wounds, or to carry their regrets. That is their sacred work to do. By stepping back and allowing them to do it, you are honoring their sovereignty as well. You are trusting in their capacity to handle their own lives, just as you are learning to trust in your own. Let this new definition of responsibility wash over you. Feel the rightness of it. Feel the peace that comes from this profound simplification. The heavy, tangled web of false obligations can fall away, leaving a single, clear, golden thread. Tend to your own soul. In the quiet moments before you drift to sleep, let this new job description settle into your subconscious. I am the sovereign of my own inner world. I am responsible for my energy, my choices, and my healing. I release all that is not mine to carry. This is the foundation of a new life, a life where you walk with lightness, clarity, and a deep, unshakable sense of your own worth. Having redefined responsibility and claimed sovereignty over your inner world, let us now take a gentle journey. A journey not to a distant place, but to a different time within you. We are going to reconnect with the part of you that existed before the heavy cloak was ever placed upon your shoulders. Before you learned the role of the receptacle, before you were ever put on trial. We are going to reconnect with your original innocence. This is not about romanticizing childhood or ignoring difficulties that may have been present. It is about connecting with an essential quality of your being that has never been touched by the burdens you have carried. It is pure, indestructible, and it is still alive within you. Allow your mind to become soft and open. Let the memories come as they will, without forcing them. We are inviting a feeling, a sensation, more than a specific visual image. Journey back in your mind, drifting gently, like a leaf on a slow-moving stream. Back past the challenges, back past the learned responsibilities. Go back to a time when you knew, without question, your own goodness. Perhaps it's a feeling of lying in the grass, watching the clouds drift by, with no agenda other than to be there. A moment of pure, simple presence. Can you recall that sensation? The warmth of the sun on your skin, the smell of the earth, the feeling of absolute belonging to the world, just as you were. In that moment, you were not trying to be good. You simply were. Your worth was not in question. Or maybe it's the memory of being completely absorbed in play, building something with blocks, drawing with crayons, running just for the joy of running. Remember that feeling of unself-conscious flow? In that state, there was no inner critic, no jury, no prosecutor. There was only the vibrant, joyful energy of creation and exploration moving through you. You were a vessel for pure life force. Perhaps it's a memory of a moment of deep comfort and safety. Being held by someone who loved you, listening to a bedtime story, feeling that profound sense of peace where all was right with the world. In that safety, you were able to be completely yourself, soft and vulnerable, without any need for defenses. Let these feelings, these sensory memories, wash over you. If a specific memory doesn't come, that's perfectly all right. Just invite the feeling of innocence, the feeling of lightness, the feeling of being free from judgment. This is the part of you we are here to visit. This is the core of your being. This is your soul's original blueprint. This part of you was never on trial. This part of you never wore the cloak. It has been waiting patiently beneath all the layers you've accumulated for you to remember it. Feel the truth of your own core goodness. This isn't an idea you have to believe. It is a reality you can feel. It's the part of you that loves beauty, that feels compassion for a struggling animal, that is moved by a piece of music. It is the spontaneous impulse to help, the spark of curiosity, the deep well of love that you have for others. This is your true nature. The shame, the guilt, the feeling of being flawed. Those are the projections placed upon you. They are like dust and grime that have settled on a perfect, luminous diamond. The diamond was never changed by the dirt. It has always remained brilliant and clear underneath. The work of healing is not about fixing the diamond. It is simply about gently brushing away the dust that is not and never was a part of it. As you connect with this innocent self, feel its qualities permeate your present-day being. Feel its lightness infusing the cells of your body, replacing the density of the old burden. Feel its simple joy bubbling up, a reminder that your natural state is one of peace and well-being. Feel its profound trust, the sense that you are fundamentally okay, that you belong here, that you are a beloved part of this universe. This innocent self holds a powerful piece of wisdom for you. It knows you did nothing wrong. It knows you were just a child, a young person, trying to navigate a confusing world with an open heart. It holds no judgment for the strategies you learned or the roles you had to play. It just holds pure, unconditional love for you. It has been your silent, loyal companion through every trial, every moment of pain. It is the unwavering light within you that could never be extinguished. Let this affirmation sink deep into your heart, into your subconscious, as you drift toward sleep. I have survived carrying mountains. Imagine how I can feel without them. This isn't just a hopeful thought. It is a glimpse of your future reality. You have already proven your incredible strength. You have demonstrated a capacity for endurance that is truly remarkable. You have carried mountains of blame, mountains of shame, mountains of responsibility that were not yours. And you are still here. Your spirit is still shining. Now, imagine channeling all of that strength, all of that resilience, not into carrying, but into living, into creating, into loving, into healing. The energy that was once consumed by the effort of holding up those mountains is now being freed up. It is being returned to you. This is a vast reservoir of power that you can now use for your own life. You are not starting from scratch. You are starting from a place of immense, proven strength. The journey ahead is not about becoming strong. It is about realizing the strength you've had all along and finally learning to use it for yourself. Rest now in the embrace of your own innocent, powerful heart. Let it be your sanctuary tonight. There are no accusations here. There are no expectations. There is only the simple, profound, and unshakable truth of your own goodness. You are returning home to the most authentic part of yourself, and it has been waiting for you with so much love for so long. As you rest in that sweet reunion with your own innocence, it's time to fully honor the incredible strength it took to get you here. We often look at old, painful patterns as weaknesses we need to overcome. But tonight, we are going to reframe this entire experience not as a story of weakness, but as an epic tale of your strength. Let's be very clear. The capacity to carry so much for so long is not a flaw. It is a testament to the immense resilience of your spirit. Think of the sheer force of will it required, day after day, year after year, to get up and face the world while carrying the invisible weight of others' emotions, to navigate relationships, to work, to love, to create, all while being burdened by a weight that was draining your life force. That is not weakness. That is the strength of a titan. It is the endurance of a marathon runner who didn't even know they were in a race. You were simply running, because that is what was required to survive. Honor that endurance. Bow to it. It is a sacred part of your story. Consider the profound loyalty that was at the heart of this pattern. You accepted these burdens not out of a desire to be miserable, but out of a deep, often unconscious loyalty to your family, to your loved ones, to the systems you were a part of. You were loyal to the unspoken rules. You were loyal to the desire for peace and connection. You were willing to sacrifice your own comfort, your own truth, for what you perceived as the greater good of the whole. This kind of loyalty is a rare and precious quality. It is the heart of a true protector, a true caregiver. The strategy may have been flawed, it may have been unsustainable, but the intention behind it was born of love. Recognize that noble intention within yourself. You were trying to hold your world together in the only way you knew how. So, we can now reframe this pattern entirely. It was not a weakness. It was a testament to your deep capacity for endurance and loyalty. The fact that you could carry mountains and not be completely crushed is the ultimate proof of your strength. The fact that you could be so loyal to others is evidence of the immense love you are capable of. The problem was never your character. It was the misapplication of your incredible gifts. You were using your superpower of strength to carry things that were harming you, and your superpower of loyalty to be true to dynamics that were untrue to you. Now, imagine what becomes possible when you realize that this very same strength, this profound capacity for endurance, can be used for your own healing and freedom. This is a pivotal moment. The energy you once used to carry the cloak can now be used to weave a new garment for yourself, one of self-respect, joy, and sovereignty. The resilience that helped you withstand unfair criticism can now be the resilience that helps you stay the course as you build new, healthier habits. The strength it took to absorb another's anger can now be the strength you use to hold a firm, loving boundary. It's the same energy. It's the same power. You are simply redirecting it. You are bringing it home. There is no new strength you need to acquire. You are already in possession of a vast, untapped reserve. You have been in training your entire life. This whole journey has been your training ground, forging you into someone of immense fortitude. Let this realization shift your entire perspective on your past. Nothing was wasted. Every moment you felt burdened, you were building spiritual muscle. Every time you endured an unfair accusation, you were strengthening your core. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. Prepared for this exact moment of awakening, when you would finally realize your own power and begin to consciously wield it for your own good. All that strength you poured into others, it wasn't lost. It carved deep channels of capacity within you. Now you get to fill those channels with your own life, your own dreams, your own peace. You have a greater capacity for joy because you have known such deep weariness. You have a greater capacity for peace because you have lived in such inner turmoil. Your past does not define you, but it has refined you. It has made you who you are, someone with the strength to move mountains, who is now finally learning to move the ones that have been standing in your own way. Feel this truth in your body. Feel the shift from shame about the past to a deep, abiding respect for the person who survived it. That person is you. You did that. You navigated that. And now you get to reap the rewards of all that hard work. The reward is the strength itself. The reward is the wisdom you gained. The reward is the compassion you developed, not only for others, but finally for yourself. So as you lie on the edge of sleep, let go of any remaining narrative of being broken or flawed. Replace it with the truer narrative. You are a survivor of immense strength, a being of profound loyalty and love who is now coming home to themselves. You are not healing from a weakness. You are healing into your power. The power that has been there all along, patiently waiting for you to recognize it, to claim it, and to finally use it for your own highest good. Rest in this newfound respect for your own journey. Every step, every stumble, every burden has led you here, to this moment of clarity, to this moment of peace, to this moment of recognizing the incredible, unbreakable strength that has always been your truest nature. You are not a victim. You are a warrior of the heart, and the warrior is finally coming home. Having reconnected with your innocence and honored the profound strength it took to carry so much for so long, we now arrive at a place of quiet integration. This is where the insights from our journey tonight begin to weave themselves into the very fabric of your being. It's the process of moving from a conceptual understanding to a deep cellular knowing. We are planting a new seed of truth in the fertile soil of your subconscious, allowing it to take root as you prepare for the deep, restorative work of sleep. The core of this new truth is a simple, powerful statement. Let it be a mantra that you can carry with you, not just tonight, but into the days and weeks to come. The statement is this: I am not a receptacle for what others refuse to own. Let's break that down, letting each word resonate within you. I. This establishes your sovereignty, your sense of a separate, whole self. Am not. This is a declaration of being, a statement of identity. It's not, I will try not to be, or I shouldn't be. It is a simple, present tense fact. A receptacle. A receptacle is a passive object, a container. You are not an object. You are a living, breathing, dynamic being. You are reclaiming your role as an active participant in your own life, not a passive dumping ground. For what others? This creates a clear and healthy boundary. It acknowledges that the stuff, the shame, the blame, the anxiety, originates outside of you. It belongs to others. Refuse to own. This is the key. It is compassionate and non-judgmental. It recognizes that people project their pain not because they are evil, but because they are, in that moment, unable or unwilling to hold it themselves. It is their refusal, their incapacity, that is the source of the issue, not your supposed flaw. I am not a receptacle for what others refuse to own. Say it silently to yourself. Feel the shape of the words in your mind. Notice how it feels in your body. Does it create a sense of solidity in your core? A feeling of calm clarity? A quiet, dignified strength in your chest? This is the new belief we are planting. To help it take root, let's visualize it. Imagine this sentence as a seed of light, shimmering with a gentle golden energy. It is a seed of pure truth. Now, in your mind's eye, see the garden of your subconscious. It is a vast and fertile place. There may be some old, tangled weeds there, the old beliefs like, it's my fault, or I must keep the peace. We are not going to fight with these weeds. We are simply going to plant this new, powerful seed in the very center of the garden. See yourself gently placing this seed of light into the soil of your mind. You cover it with care, and as you do, you know that the deep, restful state of sleep will be like a nourishing rain, watering this seed, helping it to germinate and send down strong roots, even while you are unconscious. As this new belief begins to take hold, it will naturally begin to change how you feel and operate. You don't have to force the change. The change is a natural outcome of the new truth. When a sunflower seed is planted, you don't have to command it to grow into a sunflower. It's in its nature. It just needs the right conditions. This belief is the right condition for your nature, your true, sovereign nature, to blossom. As this truth settles into every cell of your body, it becomes a quiet, powerful knowing. It becomes your new default setting. So when a situation arises where you might have previously absorbed blame, this new program will quietly run in the background. A gentle inner voice will whisper, this isn't mine to carry. And without a big, dramatic effort, you will find yourself not taking it on. You might simply listen with compassion, without absorbing the emotion. You might say something neutral instead of apologizing. You might simply end the conversation and walk away, feeling clean and clear. This is what integration feels like. It's less about effort and more about a new kind of ease. The old pattern required a constant, exhausting effort, the effort of carrying, of managing, of defending. The new pattern is one of release, of allowing, of simply being. The truth requires no effort to maintain. It is self-sustaining. Feel this new truth settling into your physical body now. Feel it in the relaxed muscles of your shoulders, which no longer need to brace for a weight that isn't coming. Feel it in your solar plexus, a new sense of solidity and self-possession where there might have been anxiety before. Feel it in your heart, which can now open with love and compassion, without the fear of being used as a dumping ground. Your very cells are receiving a new message. The old message was, alert, be ready to absorb. It's your job. The new message is, you are safe, you are whole, you are responsible only for your own energy, all is well. This is how deep, lasting change happens, not through willpower alone, but through the gentle, consistent replacement of an old limiting belief with a new, liberating truth. You are reprogramming your own system, not from a place of harsh self-criticism, but from a place of profound self-love. You are aligning your mind with the deeper truth of your soul. Your soul has always known this. It has always known you are not a receptacle. It has just been waiting for your conscious mind to catch up. And tonight, they are coming into beautiful, peaceful alignment. As you drift closer to sleep, hold this new belief like a precious stone in the palm of your hand. I am not a receptacle for what others refuse to own. There is nothing more you need to do. The seed is planted. The rain is coming. The growth is inevitable. You can rest now, trusting in this deep, quiet, and powerful process of transformation. Let this knowing be the final conscious thought that carries you across the threshold into sleep. A sleep that will not be an escape, but a deep, healing, and integrative process. You will awaken with this truth rooted just a little bit deeper, your sense of self just a little bit stronger, and your heart just a little bit lighter. As the new truth settles deep within you, a natural consequence occurs. A space begins to open up inside, a vast, quiet, and beautiful space where the old burden used to be. For years, perhaps for your entire life, this inner space has been occupied. It was filled with the heavy furniture of other people's expectations, cluttered with the anxieties you had absorbed, and shadowed by the presence of that unearned guilt. There was very little room left for you. But now, as you have let go, as you have released, as you have returned what was never yours, that space is clearing. Feel into it. Sense the new spaciousness in your chest, in your mind, in your very soul. It might feel unfamiliar at first, even a little strange. The absence of a constant pressure can be disorienting, but stay with it. This is the feeling of freedom. This is the open field of your own being, waiting to be reclaimed. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does the human psyche. It's important, then, that we consciously and lovingly choose what we want to fill this newly created space with. If we are not intentional, old habits and patterns can rush back in to fill the void. So, in these precious moments before sleep, we will engage in a gentle and sacred act of cultivation. We will furnish this inner room with energies that are truly yours, energies that will nourish and sustain you. The first and most important element we will place in this new space is gentle self-compassion. Imagine self-compassion as a soft, warm, golden light. See it beginning to glow in the very center of your chest, in your heart space. And from there, this warm, honey-colored light begins to expand, softly and slowly. It doesn't force its way. It simply fills every corner of the newly available space. It flows into the areas of your shoulders that once held so much tension. It seeps into the pathways of your mind that once ran in anxious circles. It fills every cell with a simple, unconditional message. You are safe. You are loved. It is okay to rest. This is the compassion you so freely offered to others. now finally turned inward, coming home to its rightful place. It asks nothing of you. It doesn't require you to be perfect or healed. It simply meets you exactly as you are, in this moment, and holds you in a tender embrace. Feel the warmth of this light. Let it be the most comforting presence you have ever known. This is the energy that will now occupy the space where guilt once lived. Next, let us invite in a sense of deep, abiding peace. Imagine peace not as the absence of noise, but as a positive presence. Picture it as a cool, silvery blue light, like moonlight on calm water. This silvery blue energy begins to mingle with the golden light of compassion. It has a different quality. It is still, silent, and deeply calming. It soothes any frayed nerves. It cools any remaining embers of anger or resentment. It brings a profound sense of stillness to your entire being. This peace fills the space where the constant, low-level anxiety used to hum. The feeling of waiting for the next bad thing to happen. The vigilance of managing everyone's moods. That is all replaced by this quiet, confident stillness. This peace says, all is well. Everything is unfolding as it should. You don't have to hold the world together. You can simply be. Let this silvery blue peace wash through you, a gentle tide that cleanses and calms everything it touches. And finally, let us fill this space with the energy of restorative light. This is the energy of your own pure life force, your own spirit. Imagine it as a bright, clear, diamond-like light. It is your essence. It is the core of your being that we reconnected with, your innocence, your joy, your creativity. For so long, this light has been dimmed, overshadowed by the heavy cloak. Now, with the space clear, it can finally shine in its full, brilliant glory. See this brilliant diamond light shining from your core, joining the gold and the silver blue. It doesn't overwhelm them. It illuminates them. It energizes the compassion. It clarifies the peace. This is your own energy, your own signature frequency, now free to resonate throughout your entire being. This is you, fully inhabiting yourself, as these three lights, the gold of compassion, the silver blue of peace, and the diamond of your own essence, mingle and merge. They create a beautiful, shimmering field of energy within you and around you. Your own energy field is becoming clear, bright, and entirely your own. It is no longer clouded by the projections of others. It is no longer heavy with inherited burdens. It is a pure, coherent, and powerful expression of who you truly are. Sense this new reality. Feel your edges. Feel where you end and the rest of the world begins. There is a newfound integrity to your being. You are contained, whole, and complete within yourself. From this place, you can still connect with others, love others, feel with others, but you do so from your own center, from a place of fullness. You are no longer leaking your energy, and you are no longer absorbing what is not yours. This is the feeling of coming home. This is the peace that surpasses all understanding. It is the quiet joy of simply being you, unburdened and free. Let this be the atmosphere in which you fall asleep tonight, an atmosphere of warmth, of stillness, of your own brilliant light. Your only task now is to rest within this beautiful sanctuary you have created inside yourself. There is nothing to fix, nothing to figure out. You are simply invited to be held by your own loving presence as you drift into a deep and truly restorative sleep. Your body and soul will continue this healing work as you sleep, bathed in these nourishing energies. You will awaken feeling more yourself, more centered, and more at peace than you have in a very, very long time. This space is yours now. Cherish it. Protect it. It is the most sacred place in the universe. The courtroom in your mind is now empty. The prosecutor has gone home. The jury has been dismissed. The harsh lights have been turned off, leaving only the soft, gentle glow from the space you've cultivated within. The doors are locked, not to keep you in, but to keep the old accusations out. The court is adjourned, not just for the night, but forever. And the final verdict has been delivered, not by an external judge, but by the highest authority of your own soul. The final verdict is peace. Let that resonate through your entire being. Peace, not a temporary ceasefire in the inner battle, but a deep, lasting, unconditional peace. The case against you has been dismissed, not for lack of evidence, but for being fundamentally invalid from the start. You were never guilty. You were never on trial. It was all a misunderstanding, a long and painful dream from which you are now gently awakening. You are free. Feel the truth of that freedom as you lie here, your body growing heavier, your mind growing quieter. Freedom from the need to defend yourself. Freedom from the crushing weight of unearned guilt. Freedom from the exhausting job of managing everyone else's reality. The only person you are responsible for is the one who is breathing softly here now. And all that is required of you is to allow this person, your own precious self, to rest. Give your mind full permission now to let go. It has done such beautiful, profound work tonight. It has been willing to look at old patterns, to feel difficult emotions, to learn a new way of being. Thank your mind for its courage and its willingness. And now, let it know that its work is done. There is nothing left to solve, nothing left to analyze or understand. The time for thinking is over. The time for deep, cellular rest has begun. The language can become slower now, more space between the words, each phrase an invitation to drift, to float, to let go. Your body knows what to do. It has an ancient, innate wisdom. It knows how to heal. It knows how to restore itself. All it needs from you is your permission to do so. So give your body that permission. Give every muscle, every fiber, every cell, full permission to release, to soften, to sink down into the surface that supports you. Feel the last remnants of tension leaving you, from the tips of your toes to the tops of your head, a slow, warm wave of relaxation, washing over you, gently, peacefully, completely. Let your attention rest on your breathing, but don't try to change it. Just notice it, the soft rise of your chest or belly on the in-breath and the gentle fall on the out-breath. Each breath is a wave, carrying you further and further away from the shore of wakefulness, further out into the calm, quiet ocean of sleep. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to do, but to float on these gentle waves. Each breath is a soft whisper, saying, let go, let go, let go. You are safe here. You are held. You can allow yourself to become completely weightless, drifting in this new state of lightness, the lightness of being, unburdened, the lightness of being, free. The stories of the day, the plans for tomorrow, they are like little paper boats, and you can watch them as they float away from you, down a slow-moving river, and out of sight. They will be there for you tomorrow, if you need them. But for now, tonight, you are empty. You are clear. You are open to the deep healing that only sleep can bring. This is your sacred time, your sanctuary, a time for your body to repair, for your mind to clear, for your soul to be replenished. You have earned this rest. You have reclaimed your right to it. You are no longer serving time. You are embracing peace. And as you drift deeper and deeper, a quiet knowing settles in, a knowing that this freedom, this peace, this lightness, this is your true nature. This is not something you have to achieve or hold on to. It is who you are. Beneath all the noise, beneath all the burdens, this peace is your home. And you are returning home now. With every breath, you are coming home to yourself. The court is adjourned. The case is dismissed forever. You are free. Rest now in your freedom, in your peace. Rest deeply and completely. Just rest. As consciousness itself begins to dissolve into the soft, deep velvet of sleep, all that is left is the gentle current of being. There are no more thoughts to think, no more feelings to process. The story of who you are, the narrative of your past, the burdens you once carried, they have all faded into a respectful distance. Here, in this liminal space between worlds, there is only the quiet, rhythmic pulse of life itself. A life that is innocent, a life that is free, a life that is safe. This is the profound mystery we touch every night. We let go of everything we think we are, and we merge with a state of pure existence. We rehearse the ultimate act of surrender, trusting that the universe will hold us, that the sun will rise again, that our consciousness will re-emerge, perhaps a little different, a little lighter than when we let it go. What does it mean to be truly innocent? Perhaps it has less to do with a history of perfect actions and more to do with the fundamental nature of awareness itself. The awareness within you, the part of you that is listening to these words, even as your mind drifts away, has never been harmed. It has witnessed pain. It has witnessed joy. It has witnessed confusion, but it has remained pure and untouched, like a mirror that is never stained by the reflections it holds. In your deepest essence, you are this unstained awareness. This is the innocence that can never be lost, the innocence we have reconnected with tonight. Sleep is the returning to this essential mirror-like self, releasing all the reflections of the day and becoming, for a few precious hours, the clear and empty mirror once more. There is nothing left to solve or carry tonight. The intricate problems of the waking world, the complex dance of relationships, the endless list of tasks, they have no meaning here. Here, the only truth is the gentle rise and fall of your breath. The only task is to surrender to the pull of gravity. The only wisdom is in the letting go. All the strength you honored within yourself tonight, the resilience it took to carry so much, that strength now serves you in a new way. It becomes the strength to be soft, the strength to be vulnerable, the strength to completely and utterly let go. It takes a warrior's courage to lay down all weapons, to take off all armor, and to simply trust in the benevolent darkness of restorative rest. Sleep is coming now. Feel its approach. It is not a void or an ending. It is a presence, a gentle, loving presence that is here to gather you up. A deep, restorative, and truly free rest. Let it take you. There is no need to hold on any longer. You have done enough. You are enough. You can release all conscious thought. Release the day. Release your name. Release your story. And just become the breath. Become the quiet. Become the peace. The universe is breathing you. Trust in its rhythm. All the questions of the heart find their own answers in the silence. All the wounds of the soul are tended to in the quiet sanctuary of deep sleep. What if rest is not just a biological function, but the most profound spiritual practice of all. The practice of returning every night to the source. The practice of remembering, through the act of forgetting, who we truly are beneath it all. You are a being of immense beauty and strength, and you are worthy of this profound peace. You have walked out of the courtroom. You have set down the cloak. You have come home to the quiet, spacious field of your own heart. And here, in your true home, you can finally, completely rest. You are innocent. You are free. You are safe. Just rest now.